Welcome to Books. We bring you a variety of audiobook novels, ranging from thrilling suspense to sci-fi adventures. Whether you're commuting, enjoying some leisure time, or winding down before bedtime, Open Books is here to accompany you. On a night illuminated by neon lights, Alan stood in the center of the arena, gasping for breath, drenched in sweat. He had just endured an intense athletic competition, yet the result was his defeat. His body felt weary, and his spirit was immersed in frustration and disappointment. Meanwhile, his sister Lily lay in a hospital bed, her breathing faint, as if on the brink of disappearing from this world. Once a vibrant and smiling girl, she was now reduced to an immobile state, with only silent breaths and hollow eyes remaining. Alan sat by Lily's bedside, holding a worn-out notebook in his hands. This notebook was found when Lily accidentally fell from a building, filled with strange patterns and symbols, leaving Alan perplexed and frustrated. He struggled to decipher these writings, hoping to find some clues to bring his sister back to their once happy life. "Alan, are you okay?" A nurse entered the room, gently inquiring. Alan looked up, offering a faint smile, yet his eyes revealed a hint of resignation and fatigue. "I'm okay. Thank you for asking. Just feeling a bit overwhelmed," he replied honestly. "Don't be too hard on yourself. These things are beyond your control," the nurse reassured, patting Alan's shoulder. Alan nodded, gratefully watching the nurse leave. He knew he had to stay strong, not allowing setbacks and difficulties to defeat him. He resolved to find a way out for his sister, even if it meant putting in more effort and sacrifice. Over the next few days, Alan tirelessly read through the mysterious notebook, staying up late studying and striving to understand its contents. However, he couldn't find any clues, which left him feeling hopeless and helpless. Until one day, he suddenly stumbled upon what seemed like a trivial clue. On one page of the notebook, there was a faint pattern. Alan's eyes lit up as he realized this could be an important lead to help him find the answers for his sister. "I found it! I found it!" Alan exclaimed excitedly, clutching the notebook in his hands, his eyes shimmering with hope. "What did you find?" the nurse asked curiously, stepping into the room. Alan and the nurse embarked on a journey to seek the truth together. Following the clues in the notes, they arrived in a distant country in search of professional medical teams and state-of-the-art treatment techniques. In this unfamiliar land, Alan felt a new sense of determination. He decided not to be defeated by setbacks and difficulties anymore, but to find a glimmer of hope for his sister. In the hospital, Alan and Lily endured many difficult days. He accompanied his sister through various treatments and training, each effort leaving him heartbroken and frustrated. However, he didn't give up. Instead, he held on to his determination and belief, trusting that his sister would eventually recover. During his sister's treatment, Alan stumbled upon news of a competition, an international sports event gathering elite athletes from around the world. He felt an irresistible urge, eager to challenge himself again and prove his capabilities. "Do you want to participate in the competition?" the nurse asked Alan, with some concern. Alan nodded, determination gleaming in his eyes. "Yes. I want to challenge myself and prove that I still have what it takes to be an outstanding athlete. At the same time, I hope to inspire and bring hope to Lily." The nurse looked at Alan silently, understanding his determination, motivation, and goals. She gave him an encouraging smile, hoping he would achieve good results in the competition, bringing joyous victories for himself and his sister. The day of the competition arrived quickly. Alan stood in the center of the competition venue, feeling the enthusiasm and anticipation from the audience. Clad in sportswear, his face showed determination as he prepared to face the challenge. In the competition, he gave it his all, showcasing his strength and skills, earning applause and admiration from the audience. As the competition progressed, Alan won 4 consecutive championships, becoming the center of attention for everyone. His name was widely reported in newspapers and on television. After the successful completion of the competition, Alan found himself engulfed in the joy of victory, feeling the sensation of being back at the peak. However, this joy didn't last long as he soon realized a greater challenge was awaiting him. The struggle of transitioning from old to new emerged unconsciously, with Alan finding himself facing a new opponent whose strength and skills pushed him to his limits. During the competition, he encountered a young competitor from another country whose prowess surpassed Alan's expectations, creating unprecedented pressure and challenge. "You are not my match," the young competitor said coldly to Alan, his eyes gleaming with confidence and arrogance. Alan furrowed his brows, unwilling to give up easily, yet knowing he faced a formidable opponent. He focused his energy, giving his all to counter the attacks, striving to maintain his rhythm and pace. However, despite his utmost efforts, he ultimately fell to his opponent. A wave of helplessness and defeat washed over him, not knowing what else he could do, his mind filled with confusion and perplexity. Meanwhile, Lily's treatment was nearing its end, and she would soon return home. Alan felt a profound sense of loss and helplessness, unsure how to face this reality or continue moving forward. "Alan, what's wrong?" The nurse looked at Alan, sensing his restlessness and anxiety. Alan forced a bitter smile and shook his head, unsure how to explain his feelings to the nurse. He felt trapped in an inescapable predicament, his mood growing heavier and his confidence wavering. "Don't dwell on it too much," the nurse comforted gently. "You've done your best. You've done well. What's most important now is to stay strong, face reality, and strive to find the next step forward. You can't give up. You have to believe in yourself and your sister. We will get through this together." As Lily's treatment drew to a close, Alan felt an indescribable sense of loss and helplessness. He knew he couldn't stay in this unfamiliar country any longer. He had to return home with his sister. Despite the overwhelming feelings of reluctance and resignation, he made the firm decision to set aside his career as a professional athlete and start a completely new life. Alan returned to his hometown with Lily, reintegrating into the familiar rhythms of life. However, Alan was no longer the former professional athlete. He was now just an ordinary delivery guy. Clad in his uniform, he rode his bike through the bustling city streets, delivering warm meals to those in need. "Alan, are you delivering again today?" A familiar voice suddenly came from behind him. Alan turned around to see a familiar face, his old friend Tom. They had once battled together on the arena of competition, but now led different lives. "Yes, I'm a delivery guy now. I wanted to change, to find a different kind of fulfillment and value," Alan replied with a smile. He felt no shame or discomfort in his change. Instead, he felt a sense of pride and contentment. "It seems like you're doing well," Tom remarked, sensing a change in Alan's mindset and attitude. Alan was no longer chasing vanity and fame. He had chosen a humble yet fulfilling life. Alan felt warmth in his heart as he looked at Tom gratefully, knowing his friend understood his choice and supported his new life. They reminisced about the past, recalling the struggles they faced together, their laughter echoing through time, returning to a time filled with dreams and hopes. "Tom, would you like to have dinner together?" "My treat," Alan invited, hoping to share his joy and gratitude with his friend. Tom wiped a tear from his eye and accepted Alan's invitation with a smile. They walked into a nearby restaurant, spending a warm and precious evening together, their souls intertwined more closely than ever. Alan and Tom spent a cozy evening together at the restaurant, sharing tidbits of their lives. Tom told Alan how much he admired Alan's brave determination in facing life changes and encouraged him to continue pursuing his own happiness. As the night fell, they bid farewell and returned to their respective lives. Alan rode his delivery bike back home, still filled with anticipation and unease about the future. The next day, as he stood once again in front of his delivery bike preparing to set off, a special order caught his attention. It was an order to be delivered to an internet cafe, sparking his curiosity. After a ride, Alan arrived at his destination, Xingxin Internet Cafe. He delivered the food to the counter and was about to turn away when a young man looked at his delivery uniform, flashing a familiar smile. "Alan, is that you?" the young man exclaimed with delight. Alan looked at him puzzled, a question arising in his mind. Yet, upon closer observation, he recognized some familiar faces and surroundings. He noticed photos on the cafe's wall showcasing competitions he had participated in, and the young man was none other than the formidable opponent he had encountered in one of those competitions. "You're—" Alan's voice trailed off in surprise. "I'm Alex. Remember? I saw you in the competition. We faced off in the arena. I was really impressed by your performance. Truly admirable." Alex warmly shook Alan's hand. Alan had a sudden realization, recalling this formidable opponent, which explained his defeat in the competition. However, there was no hint of arrogance in Alex's expression, only sincerity and kindness. "I thought you would pursue a career as a professional player. I didn't expect you to switch to being a deliveryman," Alex chuckled, showing understanding and respect in his eyes. "Yes, life is full of twists and turns," Alan responded, finding himself unexpectedly happy and peaceful. They began to chat, and Alex shared his experiences working at the internet cafe and the joy of his new life. Alan also introduced him to his sister's situation and his own happiness and satisfaction in his delivery work. Suddenly, Alex's gaze fell on the delivery bike behind Alan, where he saw Lily's photo, noticing Alan's deep affection for his sister. "Your sister seems to need some special treatment." Alex's voice carried thoughtfulness. Alan nodded, explaining his sister's condition. "Yes, she had an accident and is still recovering. I've been trying my best to find the best treatment for her, but progress has been slow." Alan's voice carried a hint of helplessness and anxiety. Alex gazed into Alan's eyes, his expression turning serious. He suddenly felt an indescribable sense of duty, a deep desire to help Alan and his sister. "Alan, I think I can help you," Alex said, his voice full of determination and confidence. "Can you help me?" Hope and gratitude shimmered in Alan's eyes. "Yes, I have a friend, an excellent doctor, with extensive experience in treating similar cases. Perhaps he can find a more effective treatment for your sister." Alex flashed a confident smile. Alan looked at Alex gratefully, never expecting to encounter a friend who could help him in this ordinary delivery job. His heart filled with gratitude and surprise towards fate, while also brimming with hope and confidence for his sister's recovery. "Thank you, Alex. Your help means a lot to me," Alan said sincerely, his voice filled with gratitude. "Don't mention it, Alan. Friends should always help each other. Now, let me take you to meet my friend. Perhaps he can pave a path of hope for your sister," Alex said enthusiastically, leading Alan into the internet cafe. The friendship between them grew deeper and more precious in that moment. If you enjoyed today's story, please don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and share it with your friends. Your support is the driving force behind our continuous creative journey. Look forward to the next episode, where more exciting stories await you at Open Books. Thank you all for tuning in, and until next time, goodbye.